Hi everybody, it's Tasty Tuesday and we're back in my kitchen today. And today we're traveling to Mexico and I'm going to show you how to make Mexican tamales. I love Mexican food. If you know me personally, you know how much I love tacos. And yet we've only traveled through Mexico a few times. One of the first things we're going to do when this pandemic is over is spend some time in Mexico City, where you can take food tours, specifically taco tours, and enjoy all the different kinds of tacos that are out there. Because in the United States, we almost always have ground beef, minced beef in our tacos, or fajitas, or chicken and steak often. But in Mexico, the way they eat tacos is completely different, and I am so in love with that. But today we're doing tamales, and I've only made this recipe once before, and it's been quite a while. So bear with me, hopefully we can pull this off together in my kitchen. So let me share with you that these are the corn husks. I bought these. You can get these dry. Sometimes they'll be at your grocery store or at a Hispanic market. They have been soaking. This is, you need 6 to 8 ounces of these, and I put these in boiling water about 30 minutes ago, and they've been soaking. You're not eating these. This is the vessel that the tamales will cook in, similar to if you've had something maybe in Hawaii or in an Asian country that's wrapped in a banana leaf. It's the same process. It's going to be steamed inside these corn husks. So you need 6 to 8 ounces of corn husks, and we don't need those quite yet. So we're gonna make the masa filling, and that makes up the base of the tamale. But then you also add into your corn husk a filling of your choice. A lot of people will use like a red chili pork mix. I've seen it with carne asada. Today though, I had some rotisserie chicken, and I have put together my version of salsa verde chicken using a rotisserie chicken. So all that is in here is 2 cups of chopped chicken, 1 cup of chopped green olives, a half a cup of chopped cilantro, 12 ounces of salsa verde, which you can just do a jarred version. However, I made my own salsa verde out of green tomatoes that I needed to use before my tomatoes were completely gone. And then I added 2 teaspoons of cumin and 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. And hopefully this will be enough to fill all of these corn husks. So we're going to come back to this, but right now we are going to make the masa. So I'm using my KitchenAid, and in here I have lard, real lard. I think it's the first time I bought lard in probably 30 years. Again, you can always find this at a Hispanic market, and sometimes in a grocery store too. I've seen recipes that use Crisco, so you can use Crisco, but I decided to be authentic today and use the lard. Okay, so we are going to take 1 1/3 cups lard and 2 teaspoons chicken broth, and we're going to whip that until it's smooth in the KitchenAid. Here we go. So we've taken our 1 1/3 cup lard, and we got that all incorporated on high speed in our KitchenAid. To that, we added 4 cups of masa, which is corn flour, not cornmeal, corn flour, and it's a very fine ground flour. Then we added 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1 teaspoon salt, and 1 teaspoon cumin. We mixed that on high speed, and then very gradually added 3 cups of chicken broth to get our masa to the consistency of kind of like peanut butter. It's still sticky, but it's pliable, and this seems like a lot, so we shouldn't have any trouble having enough to fill our corn husks. So that the corn husks have been soaking now for 30 minutes. I'm gonna go drain those. So the corn husks, well, in your package you'll have various sizes, but you should be able to wrap them all up so they look about the same. But there is a rough side and a smoother side. You want this rough side down, smooth side up before you start stuffing your tamales. So I'm taking about a tablespoon and just a little ball of it. I'm setting it right there. And then I'm going to use my spoon and press it down a little bit. I have the wide part at the top because the narrow part at the bottom is going to be folded over. So you want the most of your filling, or all of your filling, in about the top half of the tamale. So now I'm going to take some of our filling, also about a tablespoon. You don't want to overfill it. In fact, that might be a little too much. And now you're going to fold it like a brochure. So over again, nice and tight. And then we're going to take the bottom and fold it up. Sometimes people will tie these. You don't have to. That's a personal preference. And I have my steamer here. And I'm just going to set these down in here for now. But as I get enough, I will be able to stack them upright in the steamer. So that's the idea. And there you go. Okay, I'll do the rest of these. I'll come back and show you how we do them in the steamer. So I have filled my steamer with as many as I can get in there, and I still have quite a bit of ingredients left and quite a few corn husks. So I'm going to have to do this in 2 batches. So I'm bringing my steamer up to a boil, and then I'll reduce it to a simmer. I'll put the tamales in the steamer with the lid on for about 45 minutes to an hour. And I'll check them by just taking one out and unrolling it. If it sticks at all, then they're not ready. It should open up easily with the beautiful tamale masa there waiting for you to eat. So while that's cooking for the next 45 minutes to an hour, I'll finish stuffing the rest of them and do a second batch when I'm done. Hi, so my tamales were on the stove at simmer for nearly an hour. And I have just removed them. They're still really hot, but they are definitely ready. And I've got my second batch here all ready to go into the steamer, but I'm gonna let these cool down a little bit. And we're gonna have a few of these for our dinner tonight, but then most of them are going into the freezer for Christmas. So I just wanna show you what it should look like. So when the corn husk pulls away easily, that's when you know it's done. So you wanna check before you take them off. So we have the beautiful masa with the Salsa Verde chicken, and that's all there is to it. I mean, you're gonna eat this right out of the corn husk, and if they are cooled down a little bit, they'll firm up and you'll be able to take it easily right out of the corn husk. Let's give it a try. Oh my God. It's so good. It reminds me of making corn tortillas in Guatemala that I did at one of my favorite cooking classes. That very rich corn taste is way different than what we usually get here in the United States. That's why when you buy your masa flour, you want to buy the authentic Hispanic one. So anyway, here we are. I came up with, I believe, 48 tamales from this recipe, and some of them are smaller than some of the other ones, so they're actually pretty uneven. But we'll have these tonight and then I'll freeze them. You don't want to freeze them uncooked. You want to freeze them after you've cooked them. And to reheat them, all you do is wrap them in a wet paper towel and put them in the microwave, and they'll steam again in the microwave. So just for, I don't know, it's like a minute or maybe 2, but you're going to want to check them. So that's it. Tamales from Mexico. That's today's Tasty Tuesday. It was super easy. It really was. I'd forgotten how easy it is. And the flavors are spectacular. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week.